The Salmon Run is of great significance to the bears that live in North America. It's a 2-month-long feast and a fattening season for grizzly bears. In fact, the Salmon Run feeds most of the males, and this video lets us witness the Salmon Run's journey as more than 500 million salmon return from the Pacific Ocean at the end of July. Dozens of bears arrive at the shoreline's inlets early and wait for the salmon. They will also taste the most tender moment of salmon. Salmon born in the river long in the ocean, their eggs can only hatch in fresh water, the river's mouth. A large number of salmon began to gather. To return to the freshwater environment, their bodies must adapt to a period of time. With the beginning of the high tide, salmon back to swim, the journey officially opened. The bears have ushered in a salmon feast, although they are bloated and they're big and clumsy. Fishing is not the strongest suit of the bears, but as the salmon become less agile in shallow water, it is not difficult to catch them, so enjoy the salmon meal. At the moment of the salmon meat fat and tender to the extreme, which is full of fat and protein, each mouthful is seafood and the carrier of harmony. Tender salmon meat a little chewing can be, and then swallowed in one gulp to leave the taste buds slowly mucous membrane digestion. Each brown bear can support the fat salmon here to become readily available. Here the brown bear became the salmon back to swim, the first difficult pass. But the salmon were eaten here is only one hair of a 9 cow. The journey back is a difficult one. The journey back is difficult, and there are many hungry bears waiting in the upper reaches of the river. Compared to the bears, the narrow shallows are the real challenge, and from the time the salmon return to the fresh water, they stop eating and rely on the energy stored in their bodies. It's a race for life, and there's not much time left for the salmon to get stuck here if there's no rain. Luckily, the cold and wet air from the North Pacific brings abundant rain. But this is not good for the bears, and as the river level rises, the salmon's long-awaited moment comes, the first waterfall of the salmon's return journey, beyond which the water opens up, and the first salmon reach this open water without incident. The bears will no longer have the advantage here, especially in the deeper water, but there are always a few clever bears who can still catch some of the dead fish at the bottom of the oily river that make up their diet. It takes a lot of effort for Granny to retrieve them. Most of the time, bears don't want to dive. They don't like to get their ears wet, but they can always find a way to eat the salmon, and the bears will use their hind paws to retrieve the dead fish from the river. But of course, this requires great skill and years of experience to do so, and rather than deep water fishing for salmon, the best place for salmon is in front of a small waterfall, where a mother bear is standing. She hasn't tasted salmon for over 10 months. It's her first salmon of the year and the BMW rose slides down her belly. But before she can savor it, it's split between 2 cubs. As more and more salmon begin to gather below the falls, the salmon still have a long way to travel back, and they can't afford to waste any more time. Even though the bears are intercepting the salmon here, the sacrifice of one salmon for the passage of hundreds of fish is worth it. It's worth it to keep going. The fish are no longer in the open line and the sparse, tangled river slows them down once again. And there are more bears here. The bears have been stationed here for over a dozen days now, eating dozens of pounds of salmon every day. And even though the salmon have been migrating for some time, the fat and flavor of the salmon is not as bad as it seems, but the salmon have been migrating for some time. The salmon have been migrating for some time now, but their fat flavor is still fresh and tender, and the bears have never lived a life as comfortable as this one, where their main job is to hunt and digest, a life that allows them to quickly build up a layer of fat in their bodies to get through the coming winter. Translated with deepl.com, free version.